Hello everyone and welcome back to part 7, I believe, part 7 of Starfield. We're here. And I decided to install some mods. They aren't anything directly, just some performance enhancing ones. Something to attempt to increase my performance a little bit. And it appears to have helped. You can probably tell it's smoother, most certainly. The textures look slightly better. And I didn't even have to turn up the actual graphics quality. So, yeah. Yay. I got something working right. Maybe. So yeah, those are there. Let's get into this part of the mission, and shall we? I don't know how much I'm actually going to need those. I'd just like to grab them. In here is very ominous. An ominous obelisk? No, wait. Wrong thing. Where are we going? I swear I'm in a vault. Well, I mean, I suppose I might be slightly. I'm definitely gonna go out to empty my stuff in my ship at some point. Whoa! Think I can make that? No, that's a horrible idea.
Well, this explains why the miners ceased drilling. Someone must have missed this natural cavern on the Gervais. Shame.
Sorry if I'm being quiet here, it's just like, this is wow. All of this stuff. The atmosphere is amazing in here. Ooh. Oh, I can't lock it. I want to lockpick you so bad. Unfortunately, it's not possible. Maybe if I hit enough. Is it like a damage thing, or you actually have to use? I think you actually have to use the laser. Does that mean one of these would work? Okay, no, I'm just... I don't know why I was chasing that. It's kind of just a waste.
Constructing that massive structure in this cavern must have been quite a feat. I suppose it was a bit like building a ship in a bottle.
Makes me wonder if she's ever actually built a ship in a bottle. I mean, probably. She probably wouldn't make the joke if she had it. Anyways, I do hope everyone's had a wonderful day, night, whatever. And if not, I hope it gets better. Much better. Having a bad day is never fun, and nobody, well, directly wishes it on anyone, I suppose. Unless you're mean, then you probably do, but I'm not mean, so I don't. I suppose I can be mean when I want to be, but I don't want to be mean. Sorry, talking to myself. Ow, this was just interesting. The one thing I like in places like this is where it's like right over here, where it's like kind of pointless to have going there because I don't see any reason to have us being able to go over there, but we can. And the fact that we can go over there is just rather awesome, I suppose. At this point, I'm just kind of exploring the nonsense. What's up here? I'm gonna lie, those look like missile silos. Take the most insane route over. But then proceed to go back around so we can see if there's any loot. Tools. An impact driver. Okay. Isn't that a type of tool? Not just like the head of a tool? I apparently do not know my tools. More wiring, hammer.
All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
Well, then come haul some of it for me.
Something you need? Dropping off a few choice items?
Okay, this is what she has. Okay. Trade.
Feel free to drop some stuff into my bag.
Inventory to inspect. Aha, here we go. Resources. Where's all of my? I suppose you can take that. Probably that. Probably that too. And the fact that I have so much wire. Misc. Is all my wire in Misc? I don't know why I have that. It is. All of my wire is in fact in Misc.
So long.
Let's go. Ooh, big things of wire.
Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Okay, I've got a tissue sample I need analyzed. Full workup. I'm here to deliver an old... What's yours?
Adrian sent you. She's... Did she look okay?
She's alive, but has injured trying to collect this delivery. I've got it for you.
Sounds like Adrian. Watch that woman lose a digit trying to get a better tissue sample.
What? You can reattach a finger, Percy.
So what exactly did she have you bring me?
Terrormorph cells from a world too young to have one.
Adrian said that, huh? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
It won't let me in. There we go. It just took too long. Whoa, okay. Gonna leave it here for a second so you guys can pause and go.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the dead. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay for the bit of cave the rest
Don't mind me, just kind of. Fire extinguisher. Just kind of casually stealing stuff.
all queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right,
I know I'm probably missing some dialogue, but still.
It's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terrormorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was an entire city wiped off the map. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terrormorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terrormorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now?
It's a good question. Orders are to take you, and then, this is too hard. She should be waiting at the... So get your boots on. We're going to shop up any more attacks before they start.
The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Let's go. Oh, I failed. Well, no, okay. I kind of want to loot here first. Give me a minute. See if there's any more goodies. What's this here? Food is good. Food is good. Wonder how many of those I've missed up to this point. No, let me grab the med pack. Not what I meant to do. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to collect that. Wait, is that even a med pack, or is that just something like weird that's part of the texture, if you will, for the model? I don't know. And then elevator. Elevator. I suppose that is kind of a good question. How does one say elevator correctly? Is there even a correct pronunciation for it? Or, okay, I suppose I should say, is there a good correct pronunciation for it? How far away is the ship? Fast travel. Fast travel? Onward and forward. What is that even from? I feel like I remember it from something. If you guys know what that is from, please tell me. It may be from something I don't actually recognize. I may know it as like a meme or something. That'd be sad though. But knowing me, that's probably how I know it. Not that I'm that much interested in memes, it's more of just that I somehow find myself viewing a lot of memes for some reason.
Be careful down near the mines and enter any active...
Is that really her? Hadrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hatchling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Well, it's good to know she's alive and didn't weirdly die or get stuck on a weird exploration. And while we went and did this.
The Red Devils aren't exactly your average
Lou gave
bar
me the
crowd.
abridged version of what
You
went
can see it
down.
in their eyes.
Yeah, I
We
can't
don't
thank you
belong
enough
here.
for taking care of all that.
Makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two
Agreed.
able to
I'm
get
glad
that
we're
work up
intact
together?
as well.
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old terrormorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on 2 conditions. 1, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Va'ruun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Oh. Well, that means a lot. It's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terrormorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Can I help?
Have you checked your air filters lately?
Aha, I'm level 8 now. Kill 50 enemies with ballistic weapon. Okay, so gotta do that then. That's melee, laser weapons. Isn't this for like all weapons? Oh no, it's for ballistic weapons. I think I'll go to laser weapons for this thing. Oh, it does 14 damage now. Cool. Yeah, time to go
The city of
roughly
Fredonia
empty
recommends
my...
checking your
Not a
filtration
lot of folks would have
every
stuck their
2
necks out
weeks
for
for old, faulty, or improperly fitted filters. Martian dust is
Okay then.
a leading cause of respiratory illness.
Well, I would imagine it would be a good cause for respiratory illness.
Colonial Health and Human Services will be holding a service for the relatives of the deceased, offering their sincerest condolences.
See what he's selling. Okay, that's what's in here. What's the child?
Not a lot of kids here. Sometimes you've got to make your own fun.
Children between the ages of 5 to 18. Enroll them in a United Colonies distance learning program today. Your children will be provided with routine programs teaching them art.
I don't know where I just went into. I didn't look at the thing before I went in. Okay then.
Considered ineffective, even essential element.
Oh, don't think I'm supposed to be up there.
The mercenary company known as Ecliptic is now one of those threats.
The Lux condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people call them home.
I would imagine, yes.
Stay away from the Sixth Circle unless you're a minor. Or at least, don't come crying to me if anything happens to you.
I think I can hold my own. Oh, well, okay then. I suppose that really just does, slow down the tick speed of the game? Clock speed, whatever. And just so even going in and out of doors just takes forever. Wait, can I get into my ship from up top? No, you can't. Hello, Vasco.
Right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
I am the moth to your flame, the magnet to your fridge, the lint in your pocket. Yes, my captain? Certainly. I consider myself the curator of your item museum.
Okay, so he just has a weapon and some ammo for it. I'd like you to follow me for a while. Do you mind if I ask?
That was a good talk. It'll be hard to top it, but you always
Stay out of the
manage.
bridge. I mean, I'll let him be on my ship, but I want him to stay out of the bridge. I wasn't expecting that. I know I set him to my ship a little while ago. I just don't remember doing it. Or it's not that I don't remember doing it. I don't remember ever him actually appearing on the ship until now. I feel like I've been off the ship for a little while. I don't know. Go here, out to here, there, there, and no, there. And now we don't have to worry about going from planet, solar system to planet, and then land again. I'm so glad I figured that out fairly fast. Because otherwise, I feel like it would just lead to complications. Okay, not complications, but an increase in length, because you're having to worry about not just going from one place to the next, but from one place to another, to another, to another, and then finally land.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels. But there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The terrormorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
I'm asking these questions because it may allow more
Well,
opportunities
thinking about it more,
during the whole thing
I
and other
suspect
stuff.
there'd be
and
value in
more
sharing
lore.
the fact that the terrormorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being fleet admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Ve Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up, and the eyes were my parting gift.
That's actually kind of cool.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our
Because if we
cue.
had picked the other option, it
Here
would
we
have
go.
waited a minute. Or waited till we got back and said something. I say we get at least to a good stopping point for the mission and then go back to the... I suppose it's quote-unquote main story. Main, yes, this. Return to into the unknown, talk to the empty nest, talk to Sam. Yep. Faction, back to
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Hello.
But why does he sound like him? It's eerie and creepy. He sounds like the adoring fan. Reopen those.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
I don't know what to say here.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's terrormorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We're still trying to figure out at what we're facing. We can't make an informed decision without the data. We need to find a way to stop possible terrormorph apocalypse. I'm just here to talk about what happened. I wanted the ground plan to remind me what's. No. I believe one of these is a good idea. Is there a way to... No, there isn't. Ooh, but I might be able to... Aha! Ah. Okay,
Captain?
I am so sorry. Let's go with this one.
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Agreed, but
Madam
still.
President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terrormorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic, and at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terrormorph seem at all alarming to you?
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the
like a bad
information
choice
you've
now.
been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That?
She does make a good point.
I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What
Well,
was
that's
that?
not good.
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
at the spaceport. Terrormorphs.
Terrormorphs.
Well, okay then.
More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am.
Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Okay, let's go and get this done. Fight some xenomorphs.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
That's it! Stop!
Now, everything... Please!
Switching to a new target. Target down.
Okay.
You're not going. Bring it on.
Lights out on that one!
We actually need to, like, take them out.
Please!
Thank God you got here when you did. I just wish it hadn't come to that.
Yeah, what the hell happened back there, Captain? There's no excuse for using lethal force here.
I didn't mean to.
Sorry doesn't bring these people back. A
All I did was
crisis
melee
isn't
'em
licensed to
on
cast
accident.
aside your morals. Understand? Now, officer, the way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the terrormorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some terrormorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them. But still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the terrormorph. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a terrormorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
We'll try our best, and I'm going to not melee anything, because apparently that causes problems. I feel so bad now. A part of me didn't really mean to melee them, I just did it.
My God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
Has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up! Don't just stand there! Kill it!
Let's actually do something real fast. No, wrong one. Go here, find the EM weapon. Put that on 8. Terrormorph, time to die.
Oh God. Captain! You're going to be okay! It's not real! Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real! We have to put down that morph!
I doubt they'll trouble us anymore.
Okay then. What's in this thing? Shit, I will take, but
You them? Are experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
this is technically better than the one I'm holding. How that is, I do not know. Better than the one I already have? No, it is in fact not. Do I have ammo for it though? Yes, I do. Let's grab that real fast, and I want to look at this. Okay, so this is better. Short scope and semi-automatic. Okay, I think I can deal with that. I can click fairly fast.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terrormorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts.
Oh, this is probably gonna go horribly on me, but
Roger
once
that.
you're on our backs.
We're on you. sharp.
I thought that was gonna work. It did not. Where's my ship? Okay, my ship's over there.
Get in position!
You're not gonna leave me here, are you?
Take cover!
There's another one! They're everywhere!
Let's try this one.
Target acquired!
Come on!
You can't hide.
That is creepy.
Didn't even work up a sweat. If you're searching them, make it quick.
Gotta go. Do I have any more grenades? No, I do not. Pull out this thing. See how well it does. But you probably shouldn't be getting that close to that thing.
I'm coming for you.
There's another one! They're everywhere!
Clear.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant.
It's over. Thank God.
Yeah, I'll equip that as my main sort of rifle there.
If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Which would have not been good. Massacres are not fun. For anyone involved. Especially the people being massacred. I suppose there might be only one person in that situation that actually might be, well, enjoying themselves, and that's the people doing the massacre.
Though I guess our people weren't so lucky.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you.
The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time.
Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes.
I think you need to get rid of some of that gear.
I'll get rid of some of the stuff we have later when we can get into the ship. Store some of the stray food, the extra stuff I have.
They said you're free to come and go.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Heroes were minted down at that spaceport.
There you are.
And that includes you.
I believe we have some things we should discuss.
The next time terrormorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's bad. Too much gratitude and credits.
Of
Come
course.
on, man.
I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Well, apparently every side quest actually counts as a flippin' storyline to go down. Well, okay then.
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of terrormorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous.
I suppose.
They want you.
Oh, fine.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
When you
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni.
Make it my responsibility to call their family.
I'm gonna steal your globe. I take it that little thing means stealing. Well, considering taking that stuff doesn't count as stealing, I don't know anymore.
Okay. Hello.
Chief Yassine, these orders...
Excuse me?
A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the terrormorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varoon.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Is this saying we're going to, like, torture them? I no, okay. Let's not do that.
It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
Well, I think for the moment, this is where we get off in the episode.
Go ahead.
Ooh, looks like a nice. Okay. Yeah, this is where we end the episode. I'm going to go back to the ship, empty my inventory out some, and then next episode we can finish this up. We'll go through the whole thing, get the data, and then after we get the data, I say if there's much more, we cut off this side quest and just go for the main quest for the moment. That was the wrong button. Oh no, but we do have a point. No. I think I'm gonna grab that for what's up next. It just generally seems like a good idea at the moment. You know? Yes, let's look here. This. Yeah. But anyways, as I have said many a time, I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.